If you're a first time or new international flyer, this video is for you. This is a follow-up to my original video, First Time Flyer Tips, so if you're still looking for more information after this, I encourage you to go watch that video. The check-in process for an international flight is really similar to a domestic flight. The main difference is that you'll need to put your passport information into the online system when you book your flight and when you check in, and then show your passport to security when you arrive. You also may need to show proof of a visa if you need a visa to travel to the country you're going to. And if you're traveling on a really large plane like I was for this one, this is actually a double-decker plane. Boarding will start much earlier than for domestic flights, so you do want to make sure that you get to the airport early, that you're not running late, and that you are at your gate with plenty of time before the gate closes. After you board your plane and you find your seat, you will typically find a blanket and a pillow in your seat for your flight. I'm here flying British Airways and I am in economy. Once I get settled in, I like to go ahead and look at the movie list and kind of pick out the top movies that I maybe want to watch on the flight. Also, meal service is served at the beginning of the flight, so shortly after takeoff. So I usually go ahead and start my favorite movie and then wait for the meal service to come by. It's also good to know that alcohol is typically included on international flights when the beverage cart comes around, so I like to get a glass of wine, have it with my meal, watch my movie, and about the time that the movie is over, I'm kind of done eating and it's time to go to sleep. Now, you may not want to sleep if you're not on an overnight flight, but it's good to be aware of what the time is in your destination country so that you can sort of start to get on the same schedule. The lights will actually on the plane dim down, they will get really low, and this is your cue that you should be sleeping. Try to get a little bit of sleep during this period when the plane is telling you you should be sleeping. During this time, you're welcome to get up, walk around, go to the bathroom, and if you need any assistance from the flight attendants, you can either walk to the back where they typically are, or you can press the flight attendant button above your seat. Either way, so if you need something, feel free to ask for it, but they will not necessarily be coming and walking around. Now, usually a few hours before you actually land, the plane kind of starts to wake back up, the lights come back on, the flight attendants start walking around, and they will do another beverage service as well as bring you a second meal. So the second meal is usually a little bit smaller. It's like a breakfast sandwich or something for this morning, but I'll usually put on another movie to kind of just help wake me up and keep me entertained before we actually land. Now, when you land, you're really going to have two options when you get off the plane. Either that's going to be your destination and you're going to be exiting the airport from there, or you're going to be connecting to another flight, which is what I was doing in this case. We were connecting to Venice, Italy. So I will show you what the layover process in London Heathrow is like in this second part of this video. When you get off the plane, everyone is pretty much corralled down long different corridors to get to the security area. There's really no place to kind of go off. There is usually at least one bathroom option before you get to security, so if you need to go, take that opportunity. But in all airports, there are signs everywhere trying to help you get to where you need to go, so just follow the signs. And especially in London Heathrow, there was a sign like every 20 feet telling us exactly where to go. So at the beginning, everyone who's exiting and connecting is just going in the same direction, but you can see they actually have two different colors, and so they do try to make it really simple for you to quickly know which signs you need to be following. I also really like that they had down here in this sort of terminal transfer area the exact process that each person, depending on whether or not that is your destination country or you're connecting on a flight, exactly what the process is going to look like. So if you are connecting, you will head towards a type of security, but it is not full immigration. You're essentially in transit in the airport. So we did have to go through it as a separate security, but it was really similar to just like a normal airport security that you would typically go through for any flight. And then on the other side of that, we were just in a large, I'm just going to call it a holding area because we did not have a gate assignment yet. Our gate actually was not assigned to us until about 40 minutes before our flight. And so we were able to just relax, get some food, get some coffee. We actually were able to get into one of the lounges there in London Heathrow as well. And we kind of hung out there until we got our gate assignment. We also were delayed initially when we landed, and our plane got delayed like 3 or 4 different times. And then it got pushed back up to only about an hour after our original flight was supposed to depart. So if that does happen to you, just be sure that you are checking the TVs. They're literally everywhere in the airport, or having the airline app downloaded on your phone so you can get notifications quickly that way. Anyways, as I said, our gate was actually assigned about 40 minutes before our flight, so we made our way straight there. Again, just following all the signs in the airport to get us to the gate we needed to get to. We did have to take one of like the little transfer trams inside the airport. It was really fast, it was really simple. And when we got to our gate, Everything was just really more of a simple, normal process. We did have to show our passports and our carry-on bags did get gate checked, but outside of that, it was just a normal, simple, basic flight to Italy. Once we landed in Italy, that is where we actually went through like full immigration. When you enter the area for immigration in any country, again, just pay attention to the signs because it will tell you what line you need to get into. Usually there's sort of like a domestic line and then an other passport line. That's just something that you pay attention to. There's also usually officers standing there and you can show them your passport and they will tell you what line to get into. In Venice, this whole process was really simple and really fast. From there, we went straight to baggage claim to get our bags that were gate checked on the previous flight and then headed into Venice. So I will make a separate video on what to do once you land in a new country, like how to get to where you want to go and just how to like plan for that. But this video was all about how to take an international flight. I hope that really helped. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them to the best of my ability.